Hey, it's Bill, and you're tuned into the Pennsylvania Rock Show featuring the best unsigned rock and metal that Pennsylvania has to offer right here on PARockShow.com, MegaRockRadio.net, BuildTheScene.com, XRPRadio.co.uk, AltRockRadio.ca, 107.1 FM St. Louis, Missouri, RootarooRadio.com, and I feel like I'm missing somebody because I always feel that way. That's a long list. This is episode number 515. With me are three members of the band Unbroken Soul. What's up, gentlemen?
How you doing, Bill?
We are testing StreamYard out for the first time. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. Do you guys see the Facebook chat in your window or no?
No, we don't.
Okay. I do see it. So
actually, we have a live comments thing we can switch to if that's it. So
that's probably it. Yes.
All right.
There are a few people popping on. If you're listening and you would like to ask Unbroken Soul a question, you can put it in the comments. And as it pops up, if I feel it applies, I will ask it for you. So my episodes for the last couple of months have been awkward because normally I ask questions, like where are you playing next, and what recent things that have happened with bands, and there isn't much of that going on right now.
Right. Yeah.
So the questions are turning to things like, what have you guys been up to, and how have you kept playing?
Well, currently we've been writing some new material for our next CD, and one of the projects we've been working on is a compilation disc we've been doing with Rattleclack Entertainment, which is with Jazz Byers of Homicide Black, and I believe we do have that. We'll have that track for you for the show. And I don't remember how many bands are going to be on that.
I can't
remember. I want to say like 14 or 15.
Yeah, there's supposed to be like somewhere between 10 and 15 bands that are going to be on it. And it's a very diverse project, and it's really, really interesting to sit there and see all these bands come together for something that we haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah, it's going to feature some of the best bands that's in the area right now, which would be pretty cool.
Do you want to do some name? Oh. Do you want to do some name dropping? Do you know some of the other bands that are playing on it?
A Common Crown,
After the Fall,
6 Speed Kill, Homicide Black, Half Wheel,
Royal Honey.
I don't remember the others.
Yeah, I feel really bad because I know one is Danny Corso's band.
Yeah, I know Danny Corso's band's on here, and I can't remember his band's name.
I don't know it either.
See, then I don't feel as bad then. Sorry, Danny.
If I Google Danny Corso's band, do you think it'll tell us?
I don't know.
Stranger things have happened.
I'm gonna try. Well, it told me that he's a guitarist from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
So
Yeah.
that's about as much information as we have.
Yeah. All right.
Cool.
Is it Sacred Dominion?
Yes.
That's it.
It's in the URL. So I know I saw you guys play live on Facebook at least once.
Yeah.
How was that experience for you?
It feels strange, but because we're just sitting down here and we're practicing, and it's more that we're missing being out there, and
Miss the interaction with
with
people in the crowd, and
Basically, the closest we can get to it
Right,
now.
yeah.
so it's whatever we can do to just interact with people.
Can you guys hear the sirens going down the road behind me?
Yep.
Yeah.
As long as they're not coming for us,
I can
it's
hear them
fine.
through my headphones. Were there any problems that you noticed sound wise with the live streaming? Because I see a lot of musicians asking how to fix things.
One of the biggest things I think is just like if we were doing it off of something other than our phones, it would sound far better. But we always end up just doing it in the spur of the moment where we're like, oh, you know what? Yeah, let's do it. Why not? But other than that, I guess we get the quality we expected roughly.
Yeah, for us, it's really just spur of the moment. Hey, that sounded really good. Let's go and put it up there and see what everyone thinks of it. And
Cool.
we're not really too fussed about miking everything up.
I think the one I saw it, you guys were in that room actually.
Yeah, this is our practice area.
This is where all the magic happens.
Well, some of
Does that give you some questions, Junior?
Oh,
Sorry.
not sure if I want to have the answer.
Well, if our singer would have been sitting with Tim, then there'd been a lot of questions.
So what do you guys have planned? Do you have anything other than the compilation release coming up? I know it's a tough question because everything's
it's so hard because, like you said before, with everything that's going on in the world right now, it's hard to. Everything that we had booked has been canceled, and obviously we can't really book anything else because nobody knows when all the madness is going to be done and over with. So we're just kind of like Senior said a little bit ago. I mean, kind of trying to work on some new material and hopefully get enough stuff down that when we can get out there and start doing some recording, we can get some tracks laid down and get another disc out pretty soon.
Hey, give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
All right.
See, I wouldn't do that because I think it would be funny if the live stream would get taken down.
Yeah, seriously.
So I was trying to fix my internet by plugging my Ethernet cable in instead of going Wi-Fi.
Right.
Because-
All right.
Because I went to check out the video to see if it was working on Facebook, and it told me there was a problem loading the video. I was like, uh-oh. And let's see what happens now. Hey, now it's working. Okay, it's working. That's much
All
better.
right.
All right, so I'm going to throw it out there again. Those of you that are watching us live, if you have a question for Unbroken Soul, you can make a comment on the video, and if it's appropriate, I will ask it. You know, like questions about where the magic happens. It seemed appropriate at the time. I don't know.
Then it took a quick turn.
If it's inappropriate, we'll send y'all to our singer's house.
So I do have some of my oddball questions, and I can't remember. I think Tim, this is your first time on the show, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so at least if I ask one that I've asked before, Tim hasn't heard it, so he can answer it.
Yeah, get him, Bill. Get him.
This one actually comes from Christina. She's the lead singer from the Shadow event, and she asked this in a recent show, and I love the question, so I've been asking it. If you were going to be in a cartoon series, you know how like sometimes you see like Kiss meets Scooby-Doo?
Mm-hmm.
Which cartoon series would Unbroken Soul be in, and what character would play you in that series?
Oh, I'd be Wacko Warner.
I was going to say.
I'd be Wacko Warner from the
I was
Animaniacs.
going to say we would 100% be in the Animaniacs. There's no way.
Oh yeah.
It would either be Animaniacs or South Park.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd be an Animaniacs. I'd be Hello Nurse all the way.
That was a fast answer too.
Oh yeah. That's an easy answer.
If they were making a rockumentary about Unbroken Soul, who would play you in that rockumentary?
Ooh.
See, that one's harder.
That's almost not even fair. Wow.
I'm going to go with the basic assumption that this would be what would happen for me, because back in time, everyone used to tell me I looked like this person. So I'm guessing that Andy Biersack from Black Veil Brides would probably end up portraying me.
Anybody else have a thought?
I don't know.
I got
they
nothing.
already made Spinal Tap, so they can't.
Yeah.
Man, that is a good one, though.
I guess we get Nestor to play me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get Sean Nestor to play me.
Well, nothing like downgrading the guy.
Or downgrading me.
Ouch.
Could be downgrading me.
No, that'd be a step up for you.
What about you, Tubby?
Hell, I don't know.
Bert
Get-
Kreischer.
Okay. I can roll with that. He'd be good. He'd be for that fit.
You could be the machine.
I have heard that story. Since you brought that up,
Oh, jeez.
what is something that your fans would be surprised to know about each of you?
Well, long time ago, I come here from Russia to play music for the American people. I have no idea.
Well, for me, a lot of people don't know this about me. Back in the day, before I've always kind of played drums off and on, but through high school and soon after, a little bit after that, I actually raced. I did some dirt track racing. I grew up on a track. My dad always built cars, so I raced go-karts for a while, and I raced stock cars for a while. That's a completely separate world from the music world, and probably a lot of people don't really know that about me.
How far up the stock car ranks did you go?
Not very. Because I was running Pure Stocks for a while, and then me and Dad was talking about moving up and everything. And before that really happened, I ended up going in the military, and that kind of took precedence over everything because I was all over the place in the 12 years I spent in the military. So once I came back from that, I kind of got more into the music side of things.
Every once in a while I get some bad feedback. You probably see me making the face when it does it. Let me see. I think I asked you, Junior and Sean, this before. So Tim, you're going to be put on the spot.
All right.
So 10 years from now, in a classroom, they turn to their social studies book and they open it up and they get to the part about the pandemic and what happened. And Unbroken Soul is on those pages. Why are you guys included in it?
Well, that's a damn good question.
Man.
Yeah.
I guess because we're the ones that said, stick it to the man to be politically correct, and said, screw all this crap. We're going out and doing what we want to do. If we want to get together and jam, we get together and jam. The heck with everybody else that wants to cower at home. I mean, if that's your thing, that's fine. Nothing against anybody, but it's time to get this stuff over and done with and move on with life.
I was just going to say that we were some sick MFers.
Well, that was my first thought, but then I was like, let's make it a little more interesting.
Thank you for censoring that. Because otherwise I have to go back and edit it later.
Politically
That's what I kind of figured, because
Yeah, I figured, so I caught myself before it just went and flew out of my mouth.
I know I could have really went off on a tangent there.
So you guys have all heard that if you could sit on a bench for 1 hour with anyone, you've heard that, right?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
All right. So I'm going to put a twist on it. If you could sit on that bench for 1 hour and speak to anyone in music history, who would you want to speak to? And what would be the only question that you're allowed to ask them?
Oh, see, that's the twist right there.
Ooh.
This might be the last time Tim's on the Pennsylvania Rock Show.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did you hear those questions he asked us?
Yeah. He's like, you guys handle it. I ain't going back on there.
I mean, because personally, I'd like to go back in time and talk to like Elvis Presley or, well, he's still alive, but Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys. But man, the things, I don't even know where I'd begin to ask Brian Wilson a question. I mean, he was called a genius for many reasons, and he truly was. But man, I would just like to pick his brain just to see what was going through his mind during some of the stuff, some of the recording processes that they did, and everything like that. If he can remember.
That's tough.
I just had a question pop up in the live stream. But I'm not sure. There we go. All right. So John Lee Machika of First Angel Media is asking, do you guys have canning jars as merch? Because that's not only cool, but rather fitting for the people that are canning during COVID.
Oh,
We
no.
used to.
We did have them, but we're all out of those. Because we did have the mason jars, but we're all out of those.
Oh, there you go, Jonna. The answer is no.
I am sorry.
And to answer that last one after thinking about it, I think I'd love to talk to Paul Stanley about the process of just putting together the Kiss albums back in time and what really went into it, because everyone knows, like in the beginning, it was very collaborative, but then as time goes on, you get so many mixed stories where you hear Gene going, "Oh, it was just always me and Paul," and then you hear Ace and Peter going and running their mouths about how they were always there. And so I'd like to hear Paul's side of the story, since he's usually pretty quiet about that type of stuff.
He's remaining neutral, I think.
Smart man.
Yeah, good reason.
I think, since you brought that up, that my question for Paul would be how he manages to keep Gene on track.
Right.
Yeah.
A short leash and treats.
So
I don't know.
Go ahead.
I think I'd want to sit in a room with like Bob Rock or Bob Ezrin and just sit there and go, show me the process.
That's a great goal, actually.
And just see how they produce an album from beginning to end. Because they've always produced such huge sounding albums.
I think that's a good call. Another one from Jonna. She said she's been wondering about live shows, and Live Nation is doing this pod thing. Do you think that all of this is going to change things for local bands?
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's going to change a lot, because I think, unfortunately, once everything starts to open up, I think people and even venues to a point will still be very leery about, having groups of people in and doing this and that. So I think it's going to take a lot of time for the especially the local scene to get back to normal as it kind of was a few months back.
Something I was telling Senior last night, I've kind of thought for a while that we might make the progression for maybe a couple years, unfortunately, even before all of this happened, where live shows would just be a band performing to an empty room, live streaming to YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, whatever. And I think because there are so many people that are enjoying it, and the idea that you can just go and tip rather than actually having to pay money to go and see the show, they don't have to leave home, they can sit on the couch, in bed, whatever. There is an appeal of that to a lot of people, and I do think that is going to become a thing for a while before everyone finally gets the itch for real live music again, unfortunately.
But in the same respect, I give credit to all the local musicians that have been
and I'm
doing,
not knocking the idea of doing
Right.
it at all. I think that it's great that people are still trying to get
Right.
their music out there, whether you're a national act or a local band.
right.
Yeah.
But it's unfortunate that I think that
That it's going to
It's
become
going to
normal.
become the
It's going to
beginning
become normal for a while.
this cycle,
Yeah.
even after everything starts to die down, I think that there still will be real live shows, but I think that it's not going to be as frequent as it used to be.
Right. But like I was, what I was saying is I respect everyone
Yes,
out
I
there,
agree.
like on the local scene that we know that have been doing, going on live for an hour and a half or whatever, and performing acoustically or however they're performing, and doing something to entertain the people that they would normally see, because I have a lot of respect for that, because they're not only are they sitting there going, just because I'm sitting here and I'm itching, there's people sitting at home who are in the same spot, and I might be able to put a smile on their face for a half hour, an hour, and it'll make them feel better. And I'm relieving some stress on my own just by playing my guitar and singing.
Right.
And I think that's a great thing.
I do totally agree with that as well. Great example is Bones has been going and doing videos like that often.
Yeah, and Heidi and the Hellcats have done a few.
Yeah.
I've seen everything I say is coming back to me right now. I've seen Bill Postal from Doppler Effect has a schedule he plays every Friday. Frank Vieira, who's a country artist from Pittsburgh, plays at least once a week. I'm trying to think some other people I've seen that. Steve Hawk is an acoustic artist. Tommy Horner, which some of you probably don't know that name. He's from the Mon Valley. He was in a band called Gasoline Dion when I first started doing this.
Oh.
In fact, if I remember correctly, I think they're on my shirt. Actually, it was a different band name then. Right here. Meaning in the Static. That was his band.
Nice. And while we're at it, I just want to say hi to Kyle and Jana, who have tuned in and
we
been
love you
posting
too,
here
Kyle.
in the chat. We appreciate seeing that.
I lost my chat. There it is. It's back.
Yes, Never Wake too. And it's also really awesome that those guys are on that iRacing car thing now. Since since they can't do the Formula One or NASCAR or anything, they're doing the simulation races. And one of the drivers has a Never Wake car, which is really awesome.
Oh, cool. Never Wake is doing Mad Libs while they're on. I think that would be fun. Now I need to start writing some Mad Libs. That's going to be the next band interview. I can't remember who's next, but be prepared.
Oh man, I wish that would have been us. I would have signed up again.
Oh, God. Are you trying to make sure we never get booked anywhere again?
That's going to be awesome. And for the record, if it happens, Jonna will probably be the one writing it for me.
Well, see, she's already got the idea. Drinking and Mad Libs.
My wife is selling paparazzi online, and on Friday nights she goes live, and that live is called Sip and Shop because people buy more when they're drinking.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, there's Paul. Paul Cha from Blackridge is on too.
Oh, yeah, nice. we've seen Paul do some live streams. He does a great job.
I've actually watched a couple of those. He's actually Paul is working on some original music right now too. I've heard a few of them.
Nice.
And they have the one for sure made me think of Zeppelin. So
yeah.
Let me think. What else can I ask you guys? Actually, you know what? We won't actually take a break here on the live video, but why don't you tell me about the song that's going to be on the compilation and give me a little story about it, and then we'll take a break there in the podcast and listen to the song. But here we'll just keep going.
All right. So should I start this one?
Yeah. Sure.
All right. So a lot like always, it seems. We made a decision after the last album that if we wrote anything, we would sit down together and we would have to like have at least 3 of us and kind of all try to have some input and agree. So we would always have a nice middle ground instead of it being like, this is such and such person's song. Something like that. And so I would just record random ideas, demo them out. And like before rehearsal, I would be working on something. And the song that we will be releasing, I forget who heard it first, but they're like, that's really cool, we should do it. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, we got to figure out how to take liberties, but I don't want to change it too much because like it would be kind of weird to like totally flip it on its head because there's a really good like thing here, but I guess go ahead and try to do something that you want with it. And we ended up figuring out a way to make it work out all real nice. Senior wrote lyrics for it, and it's called Maelstrom. It will hopefully have a lyric video released with it sometime this coming week.
Yeah, well,
it's going to come real soon.
and like I said, we're gonna have the song for you to play here on the show. We're gonna be doing a lyric video, and as everyone will see in the lyric video, a maelstrom is a very violent storm. So the song is about just how emotions get really welled up in you and how they can affect a person. So it's just about being affected and dealing with it. And it was a lot of fun for us because it was actually the second song that we wrote all on the 7-string guitars, and getting a little bit out of our normal way of writing. And a lot of the stuff that we're doing with our new stuff is all on the 7 strings. And it's a bit of a departure. It's a bit of a challenge. So there's challenges in it because one extra string makes a huge difference for a guitar player sometimes, because we don't have that many fingers no matter how many times we want to try to adjust for it.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a moment and listen to Maelstrom by Unbroken Soul off of the Rattleclack compilation. And we're also going to listen to Walk Out the Door by Black Ridge. And we'll come right back. And those of you that are listening live, you're going to have to go and listen to the podcast to hear those songs. Hey, I'm going to bring us back in. Okay, so that was Maelstrom. I can't talk. From Unbroken Soul and Walk Out the Door from Black Ridge. Paul did just ask a question, and I don't know the backstory to it, but I'm going to pop it up in the video and then ask it. There it is. He asks, what is the bass player situation?
So most everybody is aware now. For some of you that ain't, our bass player Greg Gunder, last year, probably right around this time, was diagnosed with what's called metal lung disease. And what it is, he worked in he grinded metal basically for a living, carbide and stuff like that. And after doing that so long, you breathe it in. It's kind of like the old miner's lung, stuff like that. But you get pieces of metal down in your lungs. He's had 2 surgeries. He had 2 surgeries last year where they removed a couple pieces of his lungs. He's been on oxygen. They got him on different medications trying to get him breathing better. He's finally leveled out. He's kind of to a point where he can get out and do a little bit more now, depending on the day. I mean, some days he feels really good. Some days he struggles breathing. But unfortunately, I mean, it's good that he's kind of hit a leveling point where he's definitely not getting worse at this point. But with all this COVID-19 crap that's been going on, he's had a lot of appointments with doctors and whatnot that he was supposed to be going to track his progress and everything. And unfortunately, a lot of that stuff has been getting canceled because of everything that's going on. So he hasn't really seen a doctor in quite a few months now. But overall, I mean, he's, like I said, he's at a point where the meds seem to be working good for him. With his oxygen and everything, he has it. Some days he needs it. Some days he gets by without it pretty good. We're hoping to have him back jamming with us here real soon. He's itching like crazy. He's missing playing big time. But he's been jamming around at home on his bass, and he's ready to come down and get stuff going with us again. Once we get a little bit further ahead on some of the new originals that we're working on, you can bet that he will at least be recording with us when we go into the studio. I'm not sure how soon you'll see him back on the stage with us, but at this point, we don't even know when we're going to be back on the stage again. So we're just kind of taking it a day at a time with him and everything else that's going on.
I'm gonna try and lighten things up a little bit. What if you could play with any internationally touring band? Who would you want to play with, and where would you want to open that tour at?
I know my answer. You guys go ahead. I know my answer.
I think I might have answered this one before, but I have a slightly varied answer this time, so you get to go first.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, I don't know.
Well, this is easy.
I mean, it's a tough call because, like me being the '80s freak that I am, I mean, I'd like to share a stage with like the likes of like Cinderella or something like that. Where? I don't know. I'd play anywhere with them guys.
Go ahead.
Personally, I think before I said I would play with either Kiss or Iron Maiden. My venue is the same. I would want to play at Cobo Hall, Cobo Arena, whatever it's called now with all the changes going on. But I think I would want to play bass for Megadeth. I think that would be awesome, just to be able to say I shared the stage with Dave Mustaine.
Sorry. I just made that face. Can you guys see? Are you guys looking at the comments on the video right now?
Little Richard.
Yeah, he just
Passed
passed
away.
away.
It just threw me off, and I realized I made a weird face in the video, and everyone got to see it. I was like, "What's that have to do with it?" But yeah, Little Richard passed away this morning, which is a huge loss to music as a whole.
I'm still there. I want to play with Maiden and Bullet at Donington.
Oh, Donington.
Yeah, Castle Donington.
That would be a cool. That would be the ultimate place to play, probably.
Yeah, Iron Maiden, Bullet for My Valentine, Castle Donington.
Let's throw the question out to Paul since he's listening. Paul, who would you want to play with and where? And we'll give him a second to hear us from the delay and see if he responds. While we're waiting for his response, though, I will ask you guys another question. Once all of this is done, if we get back to some semblance of normalcy, how long do you think it will take before you guys get out onto stage?
Hopefully not long.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as they say go, we're going to be somewhere. I don't know where, but we'll be somewhere.
Yeah, we'll rent a trailer and just go. Couple generators and just run it.
Do the jackal thing.
You're gonna set up on the side of the road.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Go play outside the abandoned Kmart's.
Like the old Dawkins video. We'll just go down the road playing.
We could do that now.
That's
Paul-
a good answer, Paul.
What do you say?
I like that.
Opening for Paul McCartney.
Paul McCartney. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Let me think. I'm gonna give you guys one more question because we're just hitting the 41-minute mark, and I need to pare it down to about 30 minutes. So that'll give me a little bit of time to work with. Let me think. Here's a new one for you. If you guys were going to do a podcast, what would your podcast be about?
Uh,
You can't steal
God
mine.
only knows.
mine would be so all over the map that it would almost end up just being like a blog in audio form. Just like I could see myself going and doing it about like games or something. I could see it being about music or musical gear. I could see it being about books, fishing. It's anime. I don't know. It could be about so many different things. I'd just be like, yeah, today I woke up today. I tried this type of monster and I went fishing. I used these lures and then I went home and played Xbox. It would be so all over the map.
Right. And it would just be like a round table, just inviting everyone to come down and say hi.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it would just be a random potluck.
That was kind of how this one started, except it was random bands coming to my house and playing in my living room.
Well, you know, we have
right where I'm
nothing
sitting.
booked, so we have nothing booked, so that we could make that happen again.
Well, the difference is now there are two 9-year-olds and an 11-year-old here that didn't used to be here. Because
That's all right. They can beat on the drums.
actually, they could actually probably help Blackridge out. I have a flautist, a clarinet player, and a trumpet player.
Nice.
And Aiden also plays the harmonica and the fife.
Nice.
Yeah, the fife sounds a little off the wall, but he went to Fort Necessity with his school, and he bought a fife and taught himself how to play it.
Wow. That's
So-
awesome.
He also can play a little bit of guitar, but he stopped taking his lessons.
Tell him that's okay. I didn't take a lesson at all.
He was taking lessons from Jeff DeFalco from the Thieves.
All right.
Nice.
The Thieves are good.
Yeah.
I like those guys.
Paul just said he wants my kids in his band.
It's going to need a bus to go anywhere.
Okay, guys, I want to thank you for being on episode 515 of the Pennsylvania Rock Show.
All right. Thank you very
Thanks
much,
for
Bill.
having us.
Thank you for having us.
And I'm assuming you guys are probably going to jam, right? You're together.
We
We
might.
might. Stranger things have happened.
So those of you that have been watching, make sure you check out the show on Friday evening, actually, on buildthescene.com. If you want to get a sneak peek of it, it will show up on buildthescene.com and parockshow.com at about 6 a.m. on Friday. And then there are multiple places that you can catch it throughout the week and the next week. Friday night on Build the Scene. Friday at 9 p.m. the following week, it will be on XRP radio in the United Kingdom. Sunday at 10 a.m. it'll be on Mega Rock Radio and KFGD 107.1 FM in St. Louis. Sunday at 6 p.m. it'll be on XRP again. Sunday at 7 p.m. the following week, it'll be on XRP again. Tuesday, it'll be on Rootaroo Radio in Ocean Beach, San Diego. Thursday at 7 p.m., it'll be on Alt Rock Radio in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. And then, of course, you can catch it by going to PARockshow.com 24/7, 365. And just keep clicking load more because there's lots of episodes that you could check out after this one. There's on the website, it starts at episode number 289, and this is number 514 to give you an idea of how much you can listen to on the site.
Wow.
The first 188 or 288 were live versions here in the living room, and I couldn't, in good conscience, put that out there again. And some of that has to do with the fact that I teach at a Catholic school, which I did then too. But now I'm older and I think back on it, I'm like, man, how am I still at that school? So we will not be playing those episodes. And as Paul just posted, make sure you support Unbroken Soul and all the local and unsigned bands in the area. And make sure you, once we get back to the point where you can go out and go to a show, that you do that. The venues are going to need you. The bands are going to need you. And it's just, a circle, almost a circle of life. Now,
Yeah, right.
Now Disney's going to sue me.
It's a catchphrase.
That's right. It's episode 515 of the Pennsylvania Rock Show. My name is Bill. Stick around. We're going to play some more of the best unsigned rock and metal that Pennsylvania has to offer. For those of you that are listening live, you'll have to go to PARockshow.com and check it out. And we'll catch you guys later.
Thanks
All right.
again, buddy.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.